Hello all my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. And if this is the first time that you're on my channel, please allow for me to introduce myself to you. My name's Vanessa Somuayina and you guys know me as the Unicorn Mom, your big sis from the internet. And in today's Pick a Card Tarot reading, we are going to be uncovering everything that's coming next in your life. Can I just say, you guys, how exciting! My brand Bow Life officially has its very own app, and the best part is that you don't have to pay to use it. For iOS as well as Android, it is available for all of my digital products, also my free mini courses. So you can watch and learn manifestation on the go, as well as network with all of the other beautiful members within the community tab. Leave a little unicorn emoji below in the comment section if you're just as excited as I am to try this app. You can find the link in the description box. Sign up first for one of my courses, free or paid, and then log into the app with that same email address and password, and poof, we are connected, and you'll also receive push notifications when I send you some readings on the go. All right, you guys, without further ado, let's get into these three groups that I've got prepared for you today. I would like you to pick one of these three groups intuitively. If you absolutely cannot make up your mind, then feel free to tune into two groups, as your personal reading may be a mixture between multiple groups. So let's dive into this. Group number one corresponds to the Magical Spirit Oracle, as well as the Smoky Quartz Crystal. Group number two corresponds to the Pink Pain Tarot deck, as well as the Rose Quartz Crystal. Group number three corresponds to the Starseed Oracle deck, as well as the Amazonite Crystal. But as already mentioned, the timestamps to all three of these groups can be found below in the description box, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section for quick, easy access from all of your mobile devices, your laptops, your tablets, and even your TVs, because I know some of you like to blow me up on TV. And when you do so, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. It's at Vanessa Somuayina. The link to my Instagram is below in the description box as well. But now I'm going to provide you with a little moment of privacy so you can meditate on these three groups in peace. And when your little moment of privacy is done, I will be getting into the readings with group number one, which corresponds to the Magical Spirit Oracle deck and the Smoky Quartz Crystal. So if this is the group that you chose, simply continue watching after this moment of silence. To my other two beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamps. Welcome, my beautiful soul of group number one. You chose the Magical Spirit Oracle deck as well as the Smoky Quartz Crystal. I absolutely love this crystal because I find it to be very elegant, but energetically speaking, this is a stone that removes any unwanted negativity that may be lingering within your life. So if you're wondering why you felt drawn to this stone, it could be because your subconscious just knew, hey, I need to let go of some residual negativity. I need to let go of some unwanted energies. So let me pick this crystal to receive my messages and to know exactly what to do next. So my beautiful soul, let's get into it, shall we? I am just shuffling your deck for you, and I'm going to wait for the moment in which I intuitively feel as though we have got the right message before us to kick your reading off with, so you can figure out absolutely everything that's coming next in your life and that you need to know. So group number one, this is the message that we're meant to receive for you right now, and it is nothing less than amazing, mesmerizing, and meant to be. We've got the Rebirth card as well as the number 13. It's time to leave the old behind. What did we just talk about when it comes to clearing, cleansing, letting go of negativity? You're shedding the chrysalis, you are taking risks. And for any of you who don't know what a chrysalis is, so when a caterpillar goes to butterfly, there is this chrysalis stage where they are in this little, should we call it sack bag, you know, when they're in their cocoon, but actually it's called chrysalis, it's not a cocoon. I think a cocoon might even just be for moths, but anyways, that's how butterflies, and that's also why we've got butterflies on this card. That is how they transform from caterpillar to butterfly. And you're shedding the chrysalis. You're shedding the weird in-between stage. You are completing your glow up. And that is a huge rebirth that's coming towards you. Have you ever looked at images of yourself and thought, wow, I've come really far. I used to look a little less happy, attractive, and just overall put together during that era. Yeah, my gorgeous soul, group number one, you are completing your next revamp stage a couple weeks from now. To be precise with you, 13 days from now, you will think to yourself, oh my God, I glowed up so much. I didn't even realize what was going on as I was in this full transformative stage, as I was in my chrysalis. Remember, that is the equivalent to what many people say is a cocoon. So that's the chrysalis. And I came out of it a beautiful butterfly. Next up, we've got the mystic. So this whole butterfly vibe is continuing on. As you can see here, we've got butterfly wings and the number one. The mystic brings a message that there is a reason that you have these dreams. Group one. There are dreams that you're having that seem really strange. They can also be daydreams. So reminiscing about a person, reminiscing about someone that you feel really, really strongly about. And the thing here is that you're having this dream and these thoughts about this person because they are thinking about you too, because they are having the exact same thoughts. You are connected in an energetic sense with this person that makes it hard to cut the ties. There's a reason why you are connected to this individual, and it is because you're not done. All right, you're still going to see them again. What I'm thinking in my head right now, why I'm saying you're still going to see them again, because there's this saying in German, and it goes, man sieht sich immer zweimal im Leben. Oder im Leben sieht man sich immer zweimal. So that means you always see each other twice in life. And it's kind of this saying, it's this proverb of like, don't do wrong unto others because you'll see them again. This is not the last time you're going to see them. It's not a hit and run. That's what I can see here with the mystic and rebirth. And the Elder of Swords shows us that the thing is, you have outgrown these people who have that mindset of hit and run, literally speaking, figuratively speaking, romantically speaking. To you, you've realized like there's no point, there's no sense, there's no value in that. By definition, what a relationship does, whether romantic or platonic, it continues. If someone is incapable of seeing that that is how it goes, to you here in the Elder of Swords, you've got very profound thoughts, a very profound way of seeing life, of doing life. And I hope that wasn't super loud. I'm just taking off my jacket a layer because it's getting really hot here in my studio, and spirit is just kind of heating up the room. It's usually, I don't really feel it, but when I'm reading, I do get really kind of warm on the inside. So within the Elders of Swords, I see here that you have really outgrown all of your age mates too. So most people your age are not really going to resonate with you unless they've really done the inner work, because for you it's just a lot of people are too childish for you to deal with. Leave a little crown emoji below in the comment section if you get what I'm saying, group number one, in that way. It is also a clear sign that you picked group number one, because that's the only way you would know to leave a crown emoji below, as we've got here in the Elder of Swords. And the next message I received for you is the Six of Cups, group number one. Now, the Six of Cups shows us these bears, and they're in hibernation. I see here that the thing is, you are in hibernation when it comes to dramas. You are in hibernation when it comes to any childish behavior. So what's next for you in life is you completely ignoring and stepping away from the drama queens. So you're cutting out people who are not only toxic, but extremely childish, because you just don't have the bandwidth for it. You don't have the time for it. And this is a huge rebirth, because they see that there's not even an ounce within you that's worried of cutting them off. And before, you always used to be a little careful to cut people off too quickly out of fear that maybe you still need that social contact. You don't want to be completely alone. You don't want to isolate yourself. You don't want to end up like having no friends and nobody. But you're in this real like F it kind of stage right now, and this huge transformation of completely understanding, first of all, you're never alone. You've got amazing people. Even if your group is small, it's about quality, not quantity. A card that just popped out before I even got the chance to shuffle. So that one aggressively and very clearly wants to speak. We'll get into it in just a second. And then group number 1, second of all, the thing is, you do not care to give up on your dreams just to be around small-minded people. That is something that you will never do. And that's something that you went through where you tried to change yourself and fit into a box that you didn't belong in. And then in the end, you realized the box will never be small enough for the wrong person. Now let's move more deeply into it. We've got the 10 of Knives. There's a resurrection going on. The 10 of Knives also shows me here with this resurrection that someone that you thought you were completely done with and you would never talk to again, they're coming back and they're apologizing for how they behaved towards you. You've cleansed yourself of all negativity and negative emotions you had towards them. And it's like a resurrection of the connection in a new way because you're not who you were at the time of tolerating disrespect. And you've grown out of that, and it's clear to everyone that it's not just an act. It's clear that you are not afraid to walk away from anybody, and that makes people treat you differently. I see here in the 10 of Knives that people who meet you now, they never expected you to be a little bit of a doormat in the past and so empathetic that it was literally harmful to you. And the people who knew you when you were more of a people pleaser and less healed and had less self-respect, really, group number 1, let's just say it how it is, they can tell it's not an act, it's not temporary, this is forever. Like, you've realized out of everyone, and why I say out of everyone is because everybody knew you were too nice. You're the only one who didn't know it. And I see here within the 8 of Knives that when you think back, it becomes crystal clear to you that you were entertaining things for way longer than you should have. And what comes next is an epiphany, is a moment of enlightenment, group number 1. And I want you to not be hard on yourself during this time because it's so easy to blame yourself for what you went through. It's so easy to feel bad about choices that you made because you should have known to leave that relationship sooner. You should have known to, say that you were not okay with what was going on at your work before. You should have called that coworker out. You should have switched jobs. You should have started that business sooner, becoming your own psychic CEO, your own boss, the person who is in complete control of your future, and literally like just getting the tools that you needed, whether it's like books or any like additional information, because in life we pay either way. We pay with our time or we pay with our money. And the thing is, you can tell in so many ways you paid with your time rather than just investing in yourself, in therapy, in the healthy foods and the healthy hobbies and the growth-minded version of you. But it's okay. We all go through those phases until we realize that investing in ourselves is never a waste of money. It's never a waste of time. It always levels you up internally, and it also glows you up externally. Let me tell you something. Once I started to invest in my mentor, once I started to invest in my coach, once I started to invest in going to Pilates, once I started to invest also in things such as real web design, into things such as getting the best packaging for my products, that was investing into furniture that I love in my home, getting myself flowers every week, and they don't have to be expensive. The flowers that I get myself, they're literally like $10 to $20, which is cheap for here, for Switzerland, okay? Because in Switzerland, everything is insanely expensive. So the running joke is like every time you go somewhere, if you live in Switzerland, it's always cheaper. It always feels cheaper. So investing in yourself, you'll start to realize that even if what you get out of it isn't an immediate monetary effect, you can put a price tag on your happiness, but also on your mental health, which then makes you far more motivated and far more confident to make money moves. So it's not always from point A to B, from investing to money. Sometimes it's from point A to C to B. So investing in yourself, being a different person through that, becoming your highest self, and then making more money. You can't always go from A to B. Next up for you, group number 1, we've got direction. Do not deviate from your path. Attract a mentor if necessary. Plan where you want to be. Isn't this so crazy? You saw me shuffle this. You can't make this up. I was just telling you that I invested in my own mentor, in my own coaching. And now you're being told by your guides and spirit here that will give you direction. Don't deviate from your path of becoming your highest self. Stop talking yourself out of attracting the right mentor. Plan where you want to be, and then connect with people who have done what you're trying to do. And that's one thing that I live by. I'm not going to take advice from someone that I don't look up to or that I don't want to become like. If someone who works in a completely different field and has not accomplished things that I admire very much gives me advice, why would I take that advice? Ooh, okay, we've also got mind power. Use your intelligence, analyze data logic, and think rationally. Lead with your mind. And that's the thing, be rational, be real, group number 1. What you have to do next is level yourself up if you want your life to be leveled up. Your life does not level up first and then you level up. You level up and life follows. Your mind is powerful. Your mind matters in manifesting. It matters so much in where you are today. And your mind is what created your current reality and will create your future as well, and your future reality, your future circumstances, your future home, your future relationships, the future job that you have, the future amount in your bank account, your future health practices, your future body, your future health. Literally, your mind is so powerful that it creates your entire reality. And in order for you to use your intelligence, you have to sometimes get off of the hamster wheel, take a step back, look at the situation from like a different perspective than you have up until now, and really ask yourself what you want and then go for it. Even if it's scary at the time, like if you want to create your own business, buy the domain, get the product, start the process. If you want to put yourself out there in love, literally go out more. Make yourself look good so you feel good and you behave as confident as possible. Socialize, go to events alone. I literally go for solo lunches and solo dinners and solo coffee dates all the time. Not that I'm actually looking for love. I'm very happy to be by myself at this point, group number 1. And this is really healing and such a beautiful time in my life where I can dedicate all of my resources towards myself and Bow Life, my business, and everything that I'm doing that I want to do to change the world positively, to leave a positive impact on the world. And perhaps you have a similar mission, and it is super important for you that you actually say, okay, this is what I want, and you go for it. And if you're missing direction, just think about it. You wandering around aimlessly for another week or another month, even though getting direction through therapy, a coach, getting that book, getting that audio program, getting that course, whatever it is, if you would have invested in that, immediate direction, all right, immediately you know where you're going. But imagine wasting weeks, months, potentially years, not really having direction, all because you thought, oh, I don't want to like spend the money. I don't want to like invest in myself in that way. It's a waste, blah, blah. Group number 1, you've got to value your time a lot more than that, because if I were to offer you $1 million and tell you, but the deal is that if you accept it, your life ends tomorrow, you are not going to accept the $1 million. I promise you will not. So see how valuable your time is. Time isn't equal to money. Time is greater than money. Time is more valuable than money. And it is about time that you start to behave that way. That's what Spirit is trying to say to you, group number 1. All right, use your intelligence to be real with yourself. Get what you need, start the business, get the running shoes, get in shape, get the celery, eat the green stuff. Just do your dream life now. There's nothing stopping you. And then healthy boundaries. What happens on your level up journey is that there will be people who want to cross over those boundaries. They want to say, well, it's just one glass. Just have the alcohol, just eat the chocolate, eat the cake, just have the nicotine, just, you know, come out with us and party. Oh, it's just one time, go on this vacation that you know is more than you can afford. Oh, it's just one time going and doing this dinner that you actually don't want to be at. No, healthy boundaries. Group number one. You are someone who is destined to accomplish more than the people around you. Sorry to say it that way, but you guys know that I will tell a joke. I will take things on the light side, but what I will never do is not tell you how it is within these readings. You are destined to stand out in your friend circle and in your family, all right? And in order to stand out and be exceptional, you have to behave differently than they behave, and that comes to you naturally, and it's important you don't allow them to drag you into their behavioral patterns, because you are destined for a greater life than those around you. I know it sounds really harsh, but someone has to be at the top. Someone has to be the one who breaks generational patterns, traumas, curses, and that someone is you. And I see for you, group number one, we've got updates to your system. So don't be surprised if you look back and you think to yourself that you're a completely different person now than you were even just a few weeks ago, let alone a couple months or years ago. We've got updates to your system in the form of you becoming a different person, becoming someone that you are far more proud of, and updates to your system getting on track with people younger than you. So you may already be a bit older, for example. I know a lot of you are not like teens or like in your 20s still, you know. I know a lot of you are also a little older, and I check my demographics. I also see it within my meetings, and I check my demographics across the board on YouTube, on my website, and so on. So a lot of you are really young in spirit. A lot of you, you're still doing these fun things like keeping up to date with YouTube, keeping up to date with apps, with Instagram, with all of these things where, you know, there's already TikTok, and then there will be the next social media where the demographic is a lot younger, but you are still in tune with everything, and you update as the world updates. You're not going to be one of these people who are in, you know, their 50s, 60s, 70s, and right now maybe you know someone who is like 70 and doesn't know how to use email. You're not going to be that 70-year-old that won't be able to use the equivalent of email when that time comes. You're going to be the one that like is up to date on everything and that really understands technology, because you just have a very natural ability to get into these technological things with ease and be able to use them with ease. Now, do you like setting up new technology? Is it something that you enjoy doing? No. But you are definitely always going to be up to date in a sense of you don't like doing it, but you are not going to let yourself grow old either, and it shows. It shows not only in your mind, but also externally. Group number one, you are meant to be one of those people who are forever young, where when you say your age, people are literally shocked that you're so quote unquote old. But group number one, I'm being called to clear and cleanse the space, and we'll delve more deeply into your prediction. You don't have to do a thing. You don't have to lift a finger. Just hold on tight, group number one, and I'll be right back to guide you even more deeply into your prediction. Hello, my gorgeous soul. It's your big sis, Vanessa Somuayina here. I wanted to add a little bit more of a personal touch into this reading by actually sitting down with you face to face again. I feel like it's been a minute, and by the way, my viewfinder is over here in case I look over. You know why. But I want us to figure out more about what's coming next into your life by spending this time in divination together face to face, because it just gives another dimension. So let's get into it, my gorgeous soul. Let's see what your guides have to say about what's coming next into your multiverse. First up, we have the best case scenario. If you were wondering about what's coming next, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be what you wanted it to be? My gorgeous soul of group one, it will be everything that you desired for it to be. Best case scenario corresponds to master number 33. Numerologically speaking, this is also a number of collaboration. This is a number of working with other people to create your desired outcome. What this means is that if you've been waiting to hear back from that job, if you have been waiting to hear back about whether you passed your exam, if you want to start your own business, publish your own tarot or oracle deck, start your own YouTube channel, your own blog, you name it, you are proceeding with the best case scenario being your energetic frequency. You are proceeding with the energies of a winner. And we all go through ups and downs when it comes to this energetic standpoint. So don't feel as though you're either a winner or a loser. We all are all things at different times, or at least it feels like we're all things at different times. And nothing is good or bad. It just is. Remember that. But what is happening, and what is of course exciting, is that what you want to happen will happen. And this best case scenario actually shows the unification of your desires and what the universe has in mind and in store for you. What I mean by that is, you know those times, I'm sure you can think of it, where you, for example, really wanted to make that friend, or you really wanted to be with that person because you had a crush on them. You thought they were amazing, you thought you could have such an awesome future together. Perhaps you even already thought about marriage, kids, being together with them forever. You know how we are sometimes within our minds. It can get a little delulu, but at the same time, it's sweet and romantic to actually think of another human being in such a deep way. Let's just call a spade a spade. It is actually so pure to have those thoughts about another human, and I feel like us empaths are not given enough credit for even having the ability to think and feel so deeply about another person. But then, after you envisioned all of that, for some reason it didn't work out. Either they ghosted you, they went back to their ex, they cheated, it just never happened. Perhaps that friend you really wanted to make, or that business acquaintance, it just fizzled out. And it was more from their side, of course, that they didn't want to carry on. And then a couple months later or a couple years later, you actually meet someone who's way better, that fills that empty spot or that gap. And you think to yourself, oh, thank God it never worked out with the first person that I really, really wanted it to work out with, because it would have never been meant to be. It was never going to be my best case scenario. It was never going to be the best that I could do. And this is a reminder for you, group number one. Never feel as though your love life or your existence begins and ends with one person, okay? Because it doesn't. There is so much better out here for you. There are people you haven't even met yet that are gonna love you more deeply than anyone has ever loved you. There are friends out here that are gonna be the most loyal, compassionate, beautiful people to have around. You haven't even met them yet. The best experience of your life still ahead of you. The most love, the most happiness you'll ever experience still ahead of you, group number one. So know that finally, having things turn around to the best case scenario, she's also holding this umbrella upside down here. What it represents is that you don't need to hold the umbrella upright anymore. You don't need to protect yourself from the bad weather, from the rain, which I think is funny that we actually even call rain like bad weather, because there's nothing bad about rain. It nourishes the earth. But I guess in German we do have this saying, and it's called Regen macht schön, or in Swiss German, Rage macht schön. And what this means is that rain makes you beautiful, basically. And I love that saying because it's so wholesome. It actually shows a beautiful, positive side of rain, rather than our society having programmed us to feel as though, oh, rain is something negative, rain is something that shouldn't be. Actually, I want to carry on with our romance cards. I want to read a little more deeply into your best case scenario, romantically speaking, and I really hope that my mic is allowing for exquisite sound quality, because nothing less for my beautiful unicorn family and unicorn army. You guys know that's the most important for me. It's always quality, and also to show up consistently. So you always know that you have a safe space, a home to come to here on the internet. So let's see what we've got. We've got destiny. The reunion with your twin flame is a destined event. So your best case scenario in meeting this person that you are meant to just be with, it's destined, okay? It is something that you won't be able to control. You'll just feel it. You'll just know it. When it's right, you know it's right. If you've ever met someone that basically met their soulmate, they've been like married and together for decades, that person will just tell you, I knew them the moment I knew them. Well, yeah, they did know them. I knew it was them the moment I saw them. And for example, my mother has that as well. She's like, I knew he was the right one the moment we met. I knew he was for me. And she tells me the same. She says, when you meet the right one, you'll just know, you'll feel it. And I know a lot of my audience is female-based, and of course the majority of people are straight, and I can only speak from that scenario. So while my channel is of course all inclusive, use whatever pronouns fit your situation, I just also want to make it abundantly clear that as a straight woman, speaking from the only perspective that I myself have experienced, dealing with straight men especially, you just feel if they're into you, and you also feel if they don't like you that much. You just feel when they're obsessed with you, and there's a certain stability in a healthy obsession. And whenever you feel something is off, believe your intuition, trust it. Something is off. They are liking that girl's story. They are texting their ex. They are seeing someone else. They are saying, oh, I'm single, but actually they're texting 5 other people. Trust your gut. There's a reason why your intuition is here. There's a reason why it's been passed down to you from prior generations, from your grandmother, your great-grandmother. Trust her intuition that she's given to you. Next, we have 2323, an unusual angel number, but 2323 showing up for you is meaningful, and you'll see this showing up next in your life more frequently than ever before. 2323, endless cycles. I'll just read this to you. So the keywords are charisma, communication, society, movement, journey, repetitive circumstances, and patterns. 2323, from the numerological standpoint, number 2 is a number of partnership. Number 3, as we already had here in the best case scenario, it's a number of collaboration. It is a number of having fun too, like the 3 of Cups in Tarot, the party card, as I like to call it, the 3 of Pentacles, working with others to create an amazing business venture, to create a successful business, not doing it all by yourself. So 2323, it shows partnership, but also unifying your partnership and friend circles. So the right person will not only have a strong bond with you, but you'll also be able to unify your romantic partner with friends and family and business. Okay, it's not going to take you away from it. For some reason, group number 1 for you, Spirit just really wants you to have certainty about your love life, because maybe that's something you've really been stressing over. Now, furthermore, there's some truth you're resistant to accept over and over again, until you're tired and restrained beyond depression. It takes a decision to live life for yourself. Life is all about passion. Then you make a change, and the world around you follows. And I literally just spoke about this on my second channel. It's called Vanessa Psychic CEO. And I spoke about the law of assumption and how you assuming to be that which you desire to be by the law of the assumption, which is a very strong, powerful manifestation law, the world around you has no other choice but to follow that law of assumption. So if you assume yourself to be in an amazing relationship, to be extremely loved, lovable, taken care of, and protected, the world has no other choice but to mirror that to you. If you behave as though you're successful because you assume to be a successful person, when you hold that psychologically, the physical part, the physiological circumstance of your 3D reality will soon merge with that which you assume yourself to be, because by law, there is no other option for the universe. There's no other option for the world. So I want us to delve a little more deeply into this group number 1, because I'm just enjoying our reading so much. And Spirit is telling me, no, group number 1 still has some messages. Actually, I have a different deck that I want us to get into this with. So as you can see, I do everything extremely intuitively. And I've been doing this, as you guys know, for years. I've done like tens of thousands of readings. Maybe at this point, we're even at hundreds of thousands. So my guides are always here with us. and they always tell me exactly what to do, and I just listen, and that's it. So next up, we have public face. Follow your heart, become who you want to be, earn a reputation. It's okay to be yourself. And this is something that I know we will both bond over. If you have at times felt afraid to show who you truly are, or you felt like you had to fit into this box that you actually don't belong in, it's time to just realize there's no point, because nothing actually matters. Just think about it. People's opinions, what people think of you right now, like 50 to 100 years from now, everyone, including maybe you and I, will be perished, will be in a different dimension. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. And our kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids, if we choose to have any, they're probably not going to remember anything about whether we were well-liked or not, whether Nancy from down the street approved of us, or Peter thought we were attractive or successful. It won't matter. What matters is that you are authentic, because that they will remember. Just think about it. If you think of someone who's accomplished a lot, they've always had people who said like, oh, you shouldn't be doing things like this, you shouldn't, like just haters, people who give advice that is unsolicited and unnecessary. Think about your grandparent, like how they made you feel, how they made people around them feel, the impact they had either on the entire world or even on a smaller scale, just within the family, within society. That's what matters. That's what you remember. So here within public face, just know it's not only okay for you to be yourself, it's imperative. And what comes next in your life is really a test of your confidence in yourself, and a test to see, have you grown and matured from hiding certain parts of yourself to actually knowing this is worthy of being revealed, and nobody does it like you. Yes, you are 1 in a billion, because nobody talks the way you talk. Nobody does business the way you do business. Nobody loves the way that you love. Nobody looks the way you look. Nobody makes others feel the way you make others feel, in that exact precise manner, in that exact combination. And I just want to also give you, as, how do I say this as a big sister, as like a form of encouragement, to give you strength, to tell you it can be done. Do not for a second think that I thought to myself, yay, let me do this tarot channel. Let me sell crystals and tarot decks, make my own tarot decks online. Let me start Psychic CEO online, my membership. Like, no, I had to. I was called to. There was no other way. This is a very unconventional way of living, and I live in a very conservative country, and this was not by choice. I had no other choice, because Spirit showed me this is what I'm good at. This is how I am destined to uplift people, to support people, to do good for humanity in the biggest way that I possibly could. And to me, what's always been most important is to make sure that I impact as many lives as positively as well, as I can. As positively as I possibly can is what I meant to say. And I'm getting this tingling feeling that for you it's the same. You are meant to impact other people's lives as positively as you possibly can along this journey called life. And your calling is not going to, okay, we've got 3 cards that popped out. Your calling is not a calling that is comfortable. But that's also why it's your destiny and your calling, because you're going to have to get uncomfortable to fulfill it. So we have the 9 of Knives, the 10 of Knives, and the 6 of Cups. Okay, what I need you to know here is that first and foremost, with the 6 of Cups, you have a very innocent kind of demeanor to you. Perhaps you also have a baby face in combination to a resting bitch face. Very unique combination, but I want you to know here that this shows really what's important to you is family, what's important to you is connection, what's important to you is protecting your loved ones. And then with the 9 of Knives and the 10 of Knives, the lesson we have here, because these are cards that show mental friction, busyness, and just sometimes feeling a little powerless. The thing is, like, you want to protect your loved ones so much, and you want to do so much all the time for humanity and for those that you care about, that sometimes you forget to care for yourself. And then the moment you do care for yourself, you feel extremely selfish. And that needs to stop, because it's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's not selfish to put yourself first when you are the giver, you're the nurturer, you are perhaps quite literally the mom, or the mom friend in the group, the unpaid therapist all the time. You need breaks too. You need support as well. The person who is like the strong one in the friend group is often the person who's overlooked for support, for others to be there for them. And also, if you are someone who has a certain level of privilege, like as an example, unpopular opinion, but you guys know that's what we're here for. I will always tell you like it is. I may tell a joke, I may say something funny, but what I will never do is tell a lie or sugarcoat something that has to be said. People who have pretty privilege, their struggles get downplayed immensely because, oh, well, you're beautiful. Things can't be wrong in your life. I'm sure it's not that bad. Meanwhile, if the pretty privileged person is going through depression, sometimes it's seen as less valid than the person who has less pretty privilege or close to no pretty privilege. And that's where I see that you have also internalized some of your privilege, and then you're downplaying what you actually need. You're downplaying that actually sometimes it's time for you to receive support. Sometimes it's time for you to be the one that leans back and just enjoys a nice treatment like you're doing now with your personal tarot reading right here. So reminding yourself whatever privilege it is, maybe you are the strong one in your family. Maybe you are the pretty one. Maybe you're the intelligent one. Maybe you're the rich one. Maybe you're the one that gets overlooked for whatever reason. But it's important that you realize that, because only if you realize it, you can also speak up on it, and you can also get the treatment that you deserve, because that's what you need next. That's what Spirit is trying to say to you. Look, group one, it's time for you to wind down. It's time for you to give yourself just a moment to also be human. We get it. You are close to superhuman, but at the same time, it's like relaxation is nice for you as well. We've got the ship has sailed. Group number one. If you have been hoping for someone to return, the ship has sailed. And please do not shoot the messenger, group number one. The thing here is the ship has sailed for this connection to ever honor your worth and your value. If someone didn't see it the first time, why give them a chance to show that they don't see it the second time? Why even give them a chance to be around you? There are just some things that transpire where you have got to learn to say, group number one, the ship has sailed, my friend. You had an opportunity, and usually with you, it's not they had one opportunity and then you were done with them. Once you're done with someone, or once something breaks apart for an amount of time, you have already given many chances for them to prove themselves. Be honest with yourself, group number one. You've already given a lot of opportunity. Du hast es schon probiert, group number one. You tried it. Du hast dein Bestes gegeben. You gave your absolute best. And still, they didn't see it. They will not value more of what they already didn't value then. Allow the ship to have sailed for anyone that you know it intuitively. If someone doesn't value you to the degree that they really should to even have the privilege to be around you. As your big sis, let those big ships, the ships that have sailed, let them go out into the open ocean, because guess what? That's a Titanic right there. That's a Titanic waiting to happen, and you'll be happy that you were not on board. So group number one, we are now going to switch back into the overhead portion of your reading. I loved this, group number one. I'm sending you lots of love, and we'll carry on in your prediction. Hello, group number one. Welcome back to your reading. So we'll delve a little more deeply into it. I've got our Astro Dice right here so we can see precisely what's going on for you. All right, so outside of our board, we've got the number one. The number one is a number of leadership. It is also in the calendar, it is the first month of the year, which is January, that is going to be very impactful for you, and in which you will already be stepping into the leadership energy, because people can tell you're not playing around. People can tell like you've got your goals, you've got the things you want to accomplish, and that's just what you're going to do. Oh, okay, we landed on the number 3, and we've got that on U and T. So the number 3 is a number of connecting. It is a number of spending time with other people. So your guides are trying to say to you, don't forget to spend time with your loved ones as well. We know you're very driven, group number 1, but don't forget that a social life is also important for your mental health. All right, so this landed on the number 0, and what we've got here is Uranus. So within Uranus, we have got the planet of the unusual. We have got the planet of everything that is a little different, that is almost like, I don't even want to say creepy, but you know, extraterrestrials. I see that being really interesting for you. Here with 0, I see experiences starting from 0 again, a supernatural experience, and 0 also being the time in the sense of 12 at night. I'm getting a supernatural experience for you that's coming soon. Group number 1, shortly after you have received your reading, you'll have this experience that makes you feel extremely connected to your guardian angels, and you'll be seeing the number 111. You can't make this up, group number 1. And you did just also receive the number 1 with the Astro Dice. You picked group number 1. This is your angel number. This is your angel number of flow, of clarity. It means that it's time to implement long cherished ideas. You're on the right track toward making your dreams and visions a reality. The right people, circumstances, and resources are being sent your way. Happiness and new opportunities are at hand. Trust in the process. And seeing this number, this is your number, group number 1. This is your angel number. This means you're on the right track. When you see this number in your day-to-day life, take a deep breath and let for any stress to just kind of fall off of your shoulders. Allow for any stress to fall away, because you're on the right path and you are doing exactly what you're meant to do. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Stop worrying so much. That's what I'm getting from your guides. Like the worry, it needs to go, it needs to stop. And you're repeatedly seeing the synchronicity of this number in forms of manifestations in your day-to-day life, because this is how the universe is trying to communicate with you that you are far more psychic than you have let on, than you have allowed yourself to believe. And it's time you embrace it, and it's time that you explore it. Next up, we have the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords did show up in reverse, but I'm just going to show it to you upright. So this is the Ace of Swords, and I know it says As der Schwerter because, and this is not As, okay? Group number 1, it's Us in German, which is ace. So group number 1, again, we've got an ace. We've got the number 1 for you. Out of all 78 cards, we received the Ace of Swords, which shows changes coming towards you and decisions, and you'll like this one if you're a procrastinator. Decisions that can be put off. You don't have to decide on anything immediately. And if you have been feeling slightly stressed out from different areas of your life, maybe your family is putting stress on you about what you're going to do when it comes to building a family, your career, moving, settling down, just overall being this cookie cutter person, these are not decisions that you have to make right now, group 1. Your guides are trying to say to you that your unconventionality makes you happy, so why change it to something that is rushed and not meant to be? The goal is to be happy, and anything that removes from that happiness, you know it's not right, group number 1, and the right thing for you to do in that instance is to choose you and your happiness and to remove yourself from that again, right? Like we have here, extract yourself from that negative energy, which is also why you felt drawn to the Smoky Quartz, and the Smoky Quartz is your crystal. And to remind yourself, if happiness is the key and you're happy right now, however your life is, whether you're in a relationship, you're married, you're a single parent, a pet parent, if this makes you happy, why are people so hell-bent on changing it? And remind yourself, a lot of people giving you advice are not happy themselves, and that is what circulates back to, if you don't want someone's life and someone's reality, don't listen to them about what to do next, because they're giving you the blueprint of how they got the life that they want. Always select to learn from people whose blueprint you want because you like the life that they're living and they got. I only opt into blueprints of people's lives that I admire, and I only allow myself to be taught and mentored, especially professionally, by people whose paths I love and whose paths I want to carry on and that I want to live as well. So that's my little rule of thumb. And I have found that it sounds harsh, but it's important that you learn to behave in this way if you want to not pay with your time, because your time is so valuable, group number one, and I think sometimes you don't realize that you've given it to people who don't deserve it, and you've denied yourself of some of your time in many ways where you would have needed it, like time to heal, to rest, to sleep, to go to the therapy, to give yourself time to do things even like painting. And I just posted about this in my Bow Life app, right? You guys, you can download it. I mentioned it during the intro, and it's for everyone, right? Whether you've purchased something or you haven't, it's completely free. So just know here that when it comes to you tuning into caring for yourself, I just posted how I was painting the other day. I was literally painting, and I made a very pretty painting that I'm proud of, that I'm going to gift to someone special to me. And it was a way for me to step away from work, to choose me and to do something for me. Even if for a lot of adults, they like to make these things seem silly, it's only the ones who are not as accomplished or see you as a threat who will make you feel weird for doing your self-care. So group number one, I am getting this strong kind of draw from Uranus. You've always been unusual. You've always been a bit of an underdog, a bit of a black sheep. It will continue that way, but your individuality is what can start a revolution. And that's also why you are meant to be very successful professionally, because it's always the people who stand out who are the ones who are very successful, because you aren't afraid to be you, and people really like that. That's what makes you different from others who work in your field, from other teachers, coaches, trainers, healthcare practitioner, nurses, people who work in law, working in health and wellness, hospitality, doing numbers as well. Like in these fields, you are always going to be different because you do things differently. You make people feel special. And I want you to know that, of course, it can seem as though you've got a target on your back at times, but you've also got a target as in being anointed to be successful. You are anointed to be different in a positive sense. So group number one, this is the reading that I received for you. And I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that it resonated with you. Don't forget to leave the crown emoji below in the comment section, but also feel free to share your angel number 111 in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here, that you picked group number one, and that you watched it all the way to the end. If you really vibed with this and you're not yet subscribed, group number one, make sure you subscribe to my channel in order to never miss another message and another reading that was meant for you. So group one, wherever you are on this beautiful planet, I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of our upcoming readings. Hello, my beautiful soul of group number two. You chose the Pink Pain Tarot deck in correspondence to the Rose Quartz crystal. This is a pretty well-known crystal, and you may have chosen it because what's next for you is actually romantic love, either coming into your life as a completely new lover or your existing love actually being able to regain its spark and regain that butterflies in your stomach kind of feeling, and overall love just taking taking over your life in the most positive way that you've always wanted to experience love or experience it again. So first up, we've got the 10 of bottles. Congratulations, group number 2. This immediately confirms what we just spoke about within the rose quartz crystal, because in the traditional tarot, the 10 of bottles would be the 10 of cups, right? The suit of cups corresponds to the element of water, and it stands for everything that has to do with your relationships and love and your emotions. The number 10 in the tarot is the number of completion, as this suit goes from ace through 10. 10 is the highest number you will find within the suit of bottles, and the number 10 is when you score, when there is absolutely nothing left for you to want, and it's overall just you winning. So romantically speaking, what's next for you is you are winning in love. You're winning in your relationships. You're winning in your connections with other human beings. So your private life, group number 2, it's thriving. I want you to take worries away from ending up alone as a lonely cat lady. For me, it would be being a lonely snake lady. Maybe for some of you, it's a lonely hamster lady, dog lady. Just lonely, period. Lonely person. I know we've also got men who watch my channel, but the majority of you, according to my demographics, are ladies. But of course, use whichever pronouns suit you. You get what I'm trying to say, group number 2. So the 10 of bottles shows here that you're completely acing your relationships and the part of your life that is emotionally bound. Now the ace of pills shows us that because of this, you feel confident to start a new venture when it comes to money, finances, and material wealth. The suit of pills corresponds to the element of earth, as this is the pentacles in the traditional tarot deck. The ace of pills, with the ace always meaning a new beginning, is a really powerful combination, in particular with the 10 of bottles, and let me tell you why. That is because in the 10 of bottles, we have this area of your life being complete, which gives you strength, space, time, and confidence to start with the ace, the number 1, a fresh beginning in the area of your life that pertains to your profession, that pertains to your job, your finances, your entrepreneurial spirit, and business ventures. Now, the ace of pills means you're starting something new. Starting something new with very fertile soil, very fertile grounds, and we're going to find out what you're going to do with this new situation that we have going on. We've got the 6 of pills. Now, I know this looks very nondescript, but I really love the Pink Pain Tarot deck for this, and this is a deck I've owned for years. I purchased it once just randomly on the internet, and the 6 of pills tells us that you are actually going to be more successful than you expected to be in your next business venture. And it does come from a place of you feeling so supported in your personal life and no longer having energy vampires around you, that you can funnel so much positivity and good energy into your professional life, into your business, that it's a completely different ball game than you've experienced in the past. So if you have been through the pain and hardship of a failed business before, this isn't going to happen with your next venture, group number 2. It's going to be the complete opposite, because your entire life is set up completely differently. The energetic frequencies are different than they've ever been before, and they're not the same frequencies that you had when you were failing or quote unquote losing. And the 6 of pills, the number 6 in numerology, is a number of family and generosity and care and giving. So the 6 of pills is highly favorable. What you will also continuously see is this angel number 1212. What this means is that you've got a shift coming towards you, and your guides are trying to tell you to use your enthusiasm in order to channel this shift into monumental success, riches, wealth, fame, whatever it is that you desire. What we've got here within this card is, oh, happy day. An ample opportunity related to your life's purpose is just around the corner. Take immediate action once it pops up. Of course, a lovely partnership or an epic romance is also in the cards. One thing that I always recommend that you do is take an opportunity when it pops up, when it comes to business, trying something new. It could be starting a YouTube channel, it could be starting a podcast, it could be posting differently on your Instagram. That's something I've really been focused on for this year, just making sure that my social media presence and what I post actually matches me and who I've become. And that can change, you guys, and you don't have to kind of hold on to who you used to be. And what I mean by that is, for example, I archived like 99% of my Instagram feed because it just didn't resonate with me anymore. But I still have them as memories. It's still archived. I can still go and look at it, but it's just not who I want to be to the world. It's just not what I want to portray anymore. So I completely revamped and changed that, just as I am revamping myself and my core. And next up we have 0909. What this corresponds to is new beginnings for you, group number 2. So you will be seeing 1212, and don't feel like you're an imposter for changing. You are meant to evolve and change. If you're not changing and evolving, then you're stagnant and something is not okay with you. And in 0909, what this speaks of is courage, a great chance and opportunity coming towards you for a huge accomplishment, okay? And this is all about you looking out for an opportunity that might be a game changer. You're completing something major. It feels good to level up. Close the old chapter. A new adventure will unravel. That's what's next for you, group number 2. I love how your reading is so crystal clear, not only in numerological terms, but also with the fact that there are just some undeniable changes coming towards you that will require some courage, but that are also giving you the opportunity to close major deals. And with major, okay, we also have a wall here to close major deals in these new beginnings, because once you close these big deals, you will find that actually abundance is something that you are starting to understand. It's your birthright, and it's not that hard once you figured it out. But I do see a wall and a shark that your guides need to talk to you about right now, and I want to be very clear with you on this. So the shark and the wall shows us that you have to be very careful in order to avoid losses of material wealth and in order to avoid being eaten by sharks. So it's like you have to become a shark yourself. You can no longer be Nemo. You can't be Dory, Doris, or whatever Nemo's friend's name was. And with the wall, in order for you to make sure that you don't get seen as dinner, that there isn't this misunderstanding that you're this way too kind, caring, empathetic person who can just be used, you have to stand up for yourself, group number 2, and you have to be amongst the sharks. Less talking, more listening. That's what Spirit is saying to me. That is you taking power back. That is what I have for you as your manifestation practice. It is not revealing your thoughts so quickly. You like to over communicate, group number 2, but that can be a weakness if you are in the water with other sharks who are maybe looking at you thinking, are you really a shark or are you just wearing a shark costume? Once you master that, look what we've received, group number 2. The sun. The sun represents happiness and well-being. So congrats on that, because one thing that I do want you to know is that you are manifesting complete well-being, complete abundance, a complete state of utter joy. And it's about time that you enjoy this without feeling any fear. Leave a sun emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you chose group 2, that you watched your reading to this point, and that you claim the sun. It's like a manifestation when you actually leave the emoji below in the comment section, because not only are you thinking to yourself, yeah, I'm claiming this, you're acting on it, right? You are making sure that you are claiming it by leaving the emoji below and getting on that same energetic frequency as the sun. So group 2, let's delve more deeply into your reading, because there are more messages here about what's next for you. we've got the protectress. Protect it well. Your energy is valuable. Strength, boundaries, and an amulet. There is a necklace that makes you feel a lot more powerful when you wear it, and it makes you feel protected. Maybe you haven't worn it in a really long time. Maybe it's somewhere in a pouch in a jewelry box. It's in a place where you haven't really looked at it in a long time, but it is a piece of jewelry that makes you feel strong and that gives you this protected energy of feeling like nothing can go wrong. It's like a lucky necklace. It's like a necklace that makes you feel very protected in the sense of with your ancestors being here to guide you. And this is a necklace that you either bought for a special occasion to gift yourself, or it was gifted to you by someone who truly cares about you and loves you still. Okay, they still love you, even if things have changed in that connection. And the protectress, which is a tongue twister, is communicating to wear it as an amulet that signifies strength and boundaries. So as you go about your day, you know you're wearing it, and it kind of just amplifies the thought and the manifestation of you valuing your energy, seeing it as valuable and protecting it really well, rather than just letting anyone into your space or anyone mess with your energy. Next, we have the past. And so I listened as my soul told me to let the past go so that I may awaken to how much I have grown. You know those people who always want to draw you back into your past? With me, I don't know why there are certain people in my life. I've been plant-based for over 11 years. I never understood why 11 years later you have to always say, oh, do you remember how much you used to love meat? Do you remember how you ate all of that cheese? I don't know what is the point in that. And it's not that I don't like meat or cheese. I just chose not to because my body didn't respond well to it. And it is just like people trying to always pull you from who you are, no matter how long you've been different. They refuse to let go of the old version of you, and it's almost like they refuse to allow you to grow. They refuse to allow you to transform. They refuse to allow you to expand your reality or to do better. It's almost like it lights this insecurity fire within them, and the only thing that can put it out is them just like saying these things. And for some reason, even you kind of telling them, yeah, that's who I used to be, it's not me anymore, that fuels their fire even more. Like the only way to deal with it and for the fire to eventually stop is just let them talk. But remember here, let that past go and don't allow for someone else to make you feel like you're still attached to it, because you're not. Don't give them that power. And remember, often it's also just a psychological game and tactic. Next, we've got the master number 11 here, and we've got be patient within the sun, it will come. And numerologically speaking, we have a lot of very interesting things happening. Here we had the 10 of bottles, then the ace. So we've got number 1 happening all the time here. And then we have 1, 2, 1, 2, number 1 again. And here we have the sun, number 11. The number 1 is extremely significant. We also had the 6 of pills. The past is correspondent to the number 6. Then here we had the protectress, and we had 0909. 0909, the protectress, corresponds to the number 9. So the number 6, 1, and 9, those are your numbers. Group number 2, those are important numbers that you will continuously see within sequences in your life, group number 2. So don't be surprised, don't ask yourself, oh, why am I seeing those numbers? It is because your guides are trying to say to you, manifest with patience, in the sense of understand that being within the energies of what you desire, that will be how you manifest. Not letting people take you back into the physical reality that you were in 5, 10, 20 years ago. Let them talk, but don't allow it to actually make you feel as though it has anything to do with you. And you guys, literally, you saw me shuffle There was no break, there was no cut between me speaking of these numbers. And look what we got next numerologically, the number 12 in the spirit of the tree. 1212, here we have 12. When I tell you guys this connection is extremely divine, you see it right here. You can't make this up. Out of all of the cards, we received 12, and the number sequence could have just been broken. It could have just proven like, oh, the numerological things that I'm saying are just random. How did we receive of all numbers 12? Not 21, not a random number with a 1 or with a 2 or with a 9 or with a 6 or whatever. No, it's the number 12, 1212. Spirit of the tree communicates if you're in need of a lesson, there is wisdom in the trees. And what this means is when you go out, I know this seems so over the top, and until I tried it myself, I would have thought it's really strange and it's a little much, but literally put your hand next time you're out on a tree, okay? Put it on the tree's kind of, I don't want to say branch, put it on the, I guess, stem, and just feel how your negative energies that you have been dealing with gets absorbed by the tree, and be thankful for it. Like the tree literally absorbs any unwanted energies, and you feel so clean and pure, almost like this white angel, if you will, once you have allowed for those energies to be released into the woods, into the spirit of the tree. Go on a walk. Go outdoors if you can, group number 2. That is your little quest. That is your job. That is how you will powerfully manifest anything that you desire. When you're done with this reading, make sure that either today, tomorrow, I would always say, do it immediately or you'll forget about it or procrastinate it. If you're writing things down, literally write this down. Take a walk. Put it into your calendar today. Go on that walk. Touch the tree. Nobody's looking. But what I promise you is that when you do this, you will come back to this video and you'll be like, Vanessa, I put my hand on the tree, I touched the tree, I connected with it, and it was insane. It was mesmerizing. It was life-changing. So group number 2, I have some more messages for you. I'm now going to clear and cleanse the space, and then I'll be right back with you, group number 2. So just hold on tight, and we'll delve even more deeply into your prediction. Hello, group number 2, and welcome back to your reading. So we're going to delve a little more deeply into it, and I love to just get like up close and personal. By the way, my viewfinder is over here, you guys, and it just allows us to connect on another level, which I love, and you guys can see me shuffling the cards. You can see how I read, and we can delve more deeply into what our guides need you to know, group number 2. So let's see what messages come through for you within your reading. What's next is expression. Open up your heart and connect with others. Express your creative self. Group 2, this often shows up for creatives who have been stifled, those who want to start a YouTube channel but haven't, a blog, a podcast, creating art and selling it. Okay, this is what shows up. If you are a creative on the inside, but on the outside, you are like a blue-collar worker, or you're someone who just has like a normal job, you're a normal person. What I mean by that is envision this person. They look really normal on the outside, or even maybe like they might not be that talented. Think of someone who by society standards doesn't have like pretty privilege, right? Someone who doesn't have what society puts on a pedestal. They don't have clear skin, they're not slender, they're not toned, they're not rich, they don't have fancy branded clothes or whatever the trend is this week. They're the complete opposite. And then imagine them having this crazy talent. Like once they open their mouth, they are the most impressive opera singer or just musician out there, the most impressive singer, and you would have never expected it. So the thing with you, group number 2, is that you have that. First of all, you have psychic talents that are super hidden. People always underestimate how intuitive you are and how you can already smell BS from like 50 miles away. And people also always underestimate your talents creatively. They look at you and they think, oh, this person is the stereotype, either, you know, the pretty privilege or the opposite, or oh, this normal person probably. If they saw you in your free time, if they saw you outside of like school or work or the environment that you're forced to be in with them, all of your work colleagues, everyone you go to school with, they would be like, who is this superstar? Who is this person, literally? So I just want you to know here, your guides are trying to say to you, express this more. The world is being denied of some of your creative expression that will help other people. If you can't do it for yourself, at least do it for others. Trust me, even me having my YouTube channels, I didn't want to do this, but I became obsessed with tarot and divination from the moment I had my first tarot deck within my hands, and it was just destiny. I tried to get away from it. I couldn't. I uploaded videos. The response was like insanely positive. People telling me how much I helped them, how much I saved their lives. Literally people even sending me gifts. I need to show you guys. I just got another gift from one of my subscribers. Let me just get up and get it. I mean, how beautiful is this? Look at this huge creamy vanilla pie scented 3-wick candle that's like 3 pounds or something, huge, white and gold. Couldn't be more luxurious. Literally a subscriber, I love the scent, sent this to me just with a letter, just thanking me for everything I've done for them. It's like when you are called to do something, you will just know. And the message in this group number 2 is you've been holding back some of your expression, and it's time for you to finally live authentically by expressing everything that's within you that has yet to be out here in the world, so we can all see it and you can inspire others. Next up, we've got unconscious games and master number 11. Group number 2, if you are a master number 11 or you're dealing with a master number 11, that's a connection you're going to want to be aware of, okay? And what I mean is life path numbers. But another thing, the 11th sign of the zodiac, which is Aquarius, that is the sign most capable of playing unconscious games on your mind. If you're an Aquarius yourself, you're like, great, I'm effed because I'm playing mind games with myself. And that would be self-sabotaging. And the great thing is it happens, it works all by itself. But all jokes aside, group number 2, be aware that what's next is that there is some air sign energy that's trying to get into your head because they see that being around you would be some sort of advantage. It could be socially, it could be financially, it could be that they just want your energy because you are a radiant light. And when you are a radiant light, it does attract a lot of creatures of the night. It does attract a lot of creatures who lack light, for lack of a better word. And you notice this when you're a light worker, that sometimes it feels like, how am I like attracting all of these narcissists? How am I attracting all of these people who just want to suck me dry and leave? How do I attract all of these takers? Well, the thing is, givers attract takers, and why they end up with them is because givers don't know when to stop giving. And why it's such a toxic, but in a way match made in hell, is because takers don't know when to stop taking and givers don't know when to stop giving. So it just carries on in this spiral. And this is what you're being made aware of, group number 2. Sometimes you just need someone to tell you. Sometimes you just need someone to remind you of the fact that, you know, you're a human too. You're allowed to receive. You're allowed to be in that beautiful, gorgeous, feminine energy. And there's nothing wrong with it and nothing to be ashamed of, especially when you always give. You always put yourself out there. It can feel foreign to be in the opposite position, but at the same time, it is important that you do both, that you give and that you receive, and that there isn't a huge imbalance there. Next up, we've got the Jar of Dreams. Now, unifying the Jar of Dreams with your earlier expression card, the message we have here from your guides is that there are unfulfilled dreams, and I have to bring you this message. You're never too old and it's never too late. Okay, you're never too old to fulfill that dream. It's never too late. And another thing is, it's also never too soon. So do not give up on your dreams. what's next is that there is an opportunity for you to revive one of your dreams. 2, for me, for example, I am going to Arizona just shortly after me publishing this video. The links to my in-person meetups are below. Actually, I did not mention it anywhere because I am doing some in-person readings as well as some in-person coaching and manifestation teachings. You guys know that I love that, aside from the readings that I do here. And I just want you to know that was a dream of mine, to do some of the things I'm going to do over there, like making music. It's always been a dream. I opened my jar of dreams back up. As an example, you may have the same jar of dreams, you may have a slightly different one. Your jar of dreams could be to create financial freedom for you and your family so you can live on a farm with a bunch of animals. And you know that picture on the internet, that like meme or gif of that house, that single house that's like on an island in the middle of nowhere, and there's literally one house on this island and around it is just ocean, and it's like, this is how I want to live. That's what I mean. If your dream is to create that type of life, just know you'll get it by expressing yourself. You won't get it by just trying to fit in. You won't get there by just trying to follow the norm or trying to do what everyone expects you to do. You're going to have to be different to create different results for yourself. And next up, we have the 5 of Knives. Beware of any types of hollow victories. Beware of getting into arguments or disagreements with, I'm getting here, a boss, someone that you're working with, and you are just fundamentally, objectively right. But the thing is, if you convince them with words that you're right, even if they come to the realization themselves and they're like, okay, you know what, the rules we made here are really kind of stupid, or like, yeah, maybe this wasn't right. Maybe this can be done differently or more effectively. Even if they come to that realization, group number 2, if you do it by words, they're going to have this grudge that they're still silently, secretly holding, and it's going to come out in other ways. So just show them. Show them by action. Show them by action without making it a big deal. Do that throughout life, and that way you will make a lot more friends and people who realize you're not out to get them, but you're just here to do things well and effectively. And that way you'll create a lot less interpersonal friction, which is something that you're not about. I'm getting a lot of this Libra energy of wanting harmony. Next, we have the Devil card. Fear not, my gorgeous soul of group number 2. The Devil card is a card that shows that there is, next up, a lot of seduction coming up for you. A lot of seduction to put off your expression just another week, another month, another year. Before you know it, a decade has gone by. And the seduction also of the unconscious games of realizing that in our society, in many ways, we are programmed to do things that don't serve us, whether that's drinking alcoholic beverages, to reward ourselves with food, to think it's okay, for example, to always put our mental health first. We also need a little bit of resilience. You know, sometimes we also need to say to ourselves, you know what, get over the fact that you don't want to go to the gym, just go and do it because you'll feel better and you'll be healthier for it afterwards, or just get over having anxiety about this conversation, because once you do it, you build strength and resilience, and that's definitely a conversation that needs to be had. It's probably an unpopular one right now, but that's okay, group number 2. And the thing here that I'm getting for you is, within the Devil, like, there are always these temptations, and there are always so many people who will tell you, oh, it's fine, oh, just put in less work, oh, just take care of yourself first. But what I'm also getting here is you want to be careful who it's coming from. And you want to ensure that they're not seeing that you're about to go through a complete breakthrough of success in your career, and they're just saying that to slow you down. Okay, so that would be about unconscious games. So what Spirit is really trying to say to you, group number 2, is be aware some people are not like you. Some people are far more tactical. And I had to come to this realization as well, because as the saying goes, to the pure, everything is pure. And then once you've dealt with someone who literally tries to play these unconscious games of finding ways to control you, to scare you, to manipulate you, things you would have never even thought to do yourself because you're just not that kind of person, then you start to realize, I don't have to be afraid of the world, but I have to be aware of the fact that There are some situations in which I have to protect myself, in which I have to realize when I am being steered in a direction that doesn't benefit me, but actually benefits the person who's steering me in that direction. And to always ask yourself when you're being steered in one direction, why that person wants you to go there. And then that will give you the answers that you need as to whether you want to actually take that path or your authentic path is actually a completely different one, and then you can act on it. Group 2, this is the segment of your reading that I've received for you. I trust that it resonated, and now we'll go back into the overhead portion of your reading. I appreciate you. I love you. This was amazing. And we'll now delve even more deeply into your prediction. Group number 2, welcome back into the deep dive of your reading about what's coming next for you. I've got our astro dice right here with which we are going to delve into your prediction just a little bit further. And here we have our divination board made of some beautiful wood that is going to give us more clarity about your path and your journey. All right, so on Not Known, you know who landed on Not Known? We've got a Virgo baby that landed on a Not Known. There's something going on with the sign of Virgo that is just unclear, and this whole Virgo situation, it's giving you the overthinking. If you're a Virgo yourself, then by default, of course, you're a perfectionist. You want to do everything you do well. And as a Virgo, you are ruled by Mercury, so you overthink when people say things, and it can be taken in a different way or in a quote-unquote negative sense. That is something that stresses you out. And dealing with other Virgos, oh, my gorgeous soul, group number 2, it's not easy because for you, it's really challenging to read what they truly want and what they truly desire. And then we've got the number 20 between yes and maybe. So this is a very clear message that whenever you feel like there's a maybe in the room and you're dealing with a Virgo, opt for the most positive answer, for the answer that is a yes, that is a, all right, this is working out, this is good. So just know here that Virgo in a connection with you, you may be overthinking it, but it's actually a very positive type of energy. All right, then we also have Uranus. And now here within Uranus, just so you know, this is the planet, this is the heavenly body of the unexpected, of the unconventional, and of individuality. So if you have Virgo in your birth chart, I want you to know here that for the first 20 years of your life, you're boxed in until you start to slowly break free and find your individuality and your rebellious nature in a way that you're actually ready to show it and ready to get out of the closet, figuratively or quite literally speaking. So you are boxed in for the first 20 years of your existence, the first 2 decades, as a form of self-protection. Uranus tells us that you have so much in you that is unlike anyone who came before you in your family, and this is not an easy weight to carry. However, you carry it well, group number 2, and it's important that you remind yourself that protecting yourself until you're strong enough to put up with or deal with people commenting on your unconventionality and commenting on the fact that what you see is one part, but there's more than meets the eye with you. It's definitely something that can be triggering because especially growing up, there were 2 people who always needed to point out the negatives. Like a friend, a family member, there were 2 people who always had to say like, yeah, you're doing well, but this other person, Sarah, is doing even better. Like, yeah, you have to watch your weight. Yeah, you don't want to be wearing all that makeup or people will think that you're loose or you're, however, you know, I don't even want to say it here on YouTube because I don't want this video to get penalized. But you know what I mean, like commenting on your body, commenting on the way you carry yourself, commenting on the fact that you are just expressing yourself in an innocent way. And I see here within the teardrops that what that did is cause personal sorrow, great personal sorrow. and it made you cry. Some nights you were by yourself, you were crying, and you put all of the blame on yourself, group number 2. And we're really going deep here. This is not a surface level reading. We are really just on another level, in another tier, quite literally teardrops. We're in another tier of this reading where it becomes really clear you've worked through a lot all of these years, and what you learned. Spirit is really here in the room with us, you guys. You saw me shuffle and you saw that this card popped out. There are literally 200 cards in this tea leaf fortune deck, and we received shield next after teardrops. It's becoming freaky, this whole psychic CEO energy that I have going on. It's getting to the point where I'm asking myself if this is even still what I want to be showing on YouTube and publicly, because it's getting extremely freakishly accurate after all of these years of doing readings every single day, like literally doing tens of thousands of readings. You guys see my channel is populated with thousands of readings, because each pick a card reading has like between 3 to 20 groups, depending if I did also zodiac signs, life path numbers. So after the teardrops comes the shield. You needed to defend yourself. So you built up an armor, you built up a wall, you learned to protect yourself by not letting people too close to you. On the outside, you would seem like going with the flow, you would seem more carefree than you actually were on the inside. And having to carry this knowing that actually you have a huge wall up, that actually you're just pretending, actually you're in a room full of people, but you still feel alone, it creates scar tissue, group number 2. And for one, I'm proud of you for making it through to today and for becoming the person who you are, that has not been completely calloused and changed by the darkness of the world and how you were touched by it. And at the same time, it's time for you to put the shield down. It's time for you to let your guard down a little more. I see here in the Apprentice of Cups, which shows a very new kind of innocent energy and love. Okay, the next person you meet and love, even if you are already in a relationship, like give it this apprentice energy of just give it a chance. I know you've been through a lot, and I know that protecting yourself is also important, but sometimes we also need to allow for room for love to come in, because sometimes we get so good at protecting ourselves that we forget that sometimes protecting ourselves from pain, from disappointment, from heartache, and from the bad can also mean that we've put up a wall and a protective layer from the good. Because what Spirit is telling me is that there are people who will love you insanely much that you have not even met yet. And that's exactly what the Apprentice of Cups represents. You see this baby cow that we have, which represents really innocent baby energy that couldn't hurt a fly. And I definitely want you to know in love, that's who you're pairing up with. The Ace of Pentacles, the Ace beginning something new, the Ace of Pentacles beginning that new business. If you needed a sign that it is time for you to start that business, if you needed confirmation that this is your time to be financially free, liberated, to do what you've always seen before your eyes, what your visualizations and your meditations have shown you you're capable of, this is it, group 2. This is your sign. It's your sign to start that business. It's your sign to invest in yourself. Get that domain. Start the podcast. Get the products. Get your packaging designed. Get the accountant. Get the person who understands your business, can help you, can coach you. Get the business books. Try the things. Post the reel. Create the reel. Be fearless. The Ace of Pentacles shows us here that this is your time. This is your parting piece of guidance. I'll just move your dice over here. This is your parting piece of guidance. If you leave this reading with anything, that's the message to take action towards your dreams in your career and in your professional life. Take actions towards your dreams when it comes to how you spend your time making money, because we all do that. People who say, oh, I don't care about money. If you will lie about that, you will also lie about other things, because why do you then spend more than 8 hours a day working for money? if you don't care about money. We all need it, and we all, and I hope that for all of us, we all deserve to work a job that is in alignment with our soul and that we love doing. It's not about trying to not work or be afraid of working hard. No, this Virgo energy I see in you, Virgo and Uranus, it is this energy of you don't mind hard work, but you want to love the work. And you deserve to love the work. And sometimes the career paths that are 100% us, we have to create, because remember, this is not one size fits all. And in order to create something unique, sometimes you have to create it for yourself from scratch, because then it's made for you. Just think about it. Working at a firm, they create that to serve them. They create that for them to make as much money as possible, giving you as little as possible without you walking away, but also not compromising the quality of the employee, i.e. you. But when you create your own business, when you become your own psychic CEO, when you take matters into your own hands, you create a business that works around what you want, that works for you, that generates the type of income you desire, that gives you the type of work environment that you feel comfortable in. So it's basically turning the perspective into how you can create a path that allows you to work hard, smart, and to make a change in the world that feels meaningful to you, group number 2. Because you are a starseed, you are a special someone who is meant to be an employer and to give others work as well. You are not meant to work your entire career working for someone else. Group number 2, these are the messages that I received for you, and I truly hope that they resonated and hit home. I know we went a little deep, but I trust that you can appreciate this, group number 2, and that you found this reading insightful. Don't forget to let me know below in the comment section how you liked the reading. If you made it all the way to the end, leave a 1212, your number sequence, below in the comment section to let me and others know, because the keyword here is persistence in 1212. And you've got this, group number 2. So wherever you are on this gorgeous planet, I'm sending you so much love. Don't forget to subscribe to never miss out on another reading if you aren't already. And I can't wait to connect with you during an upcoming prediction. Hello, my gorgeous soul of group number 3. You chose the Amazonite crystal as well as the Starseed Oracle deck. Now, this is the beautiful Amazonite crystal. It comes in this beautiful baby blue, powder blue color, and I love this stone because it has incredibly powerful properties when it comes to getting you to take action and to get out of a place of complacency, which is precisely what your guides want you to do. But let's move into your reading, shall we, with your Starseed Oracle deck and see what is coming next for you and what it is that you need to know. So first up, we've got the Messenger, Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance. So in the Messenger, I see that you are going to get either a direct message, a text, or an email that is going to give you a message that you've seriously been waiting for. And it's going to bring harmony and balance into your life. So if you were waiting for an outcome for some sort of test, it could be a lab test result, right, for your health. It could be a test that has to do with your education. Perhaps you're waiting to hear back about a court case. The Messenger brings you a message that will put your life back into harmony and balance. So you're no longer going to feel this agony of not knowing and of wondering whether something has gone wrong. Fall into my arms, surrender. I can see here with fall into my arms that what comes next is just this feeling that life always catches you, and that somehow, no matter how challenging a situation may seem, it always works out, and that you get to trust in the universe, you get to trust in your angels and your guides, and most importantly, you get to trust yourself. You get to trust that the choices that you are making are choices that are good for you and are going to result in an amazing future. Now, with the Messenger and fall into my arms, you're also getting a message from someone who wants you to fall into their arms. Someone who has a crush on you. Why am I getting this work vibration? Why am I getting this as someone that you either went to school with or you worked with, and even though they know it's inappropriate, they're still reaching back out to you. I want to know when this is actually going to happen. So we're going to move into this with our astro dice as well. All right, so 12 days from you receiving this reading is when they're going to message you. Exactly 12 days. You are tuned into this reading right now for a reason. There's a reason why you're here in this very moment, and the timing is 12 days from now. Or 12 hours, my gorgeous soul. I'm getting this speed from them, a little bit of this nervous energy, texting you 12 hours from the time that you've watched this reading, and then in 12 days again. And then we've got surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. Have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously, group number 3. The flirtations are allowed. Of course, if you are in a committed relationship or a marriage, you're not going to want to take that too far, but it's never bad to be flattered and to feel like you still got it. And I also want you to just surrender to the fact that you are someone that others look at and they want to talk to you. They want to get to know you. They want to get closer to you. Venus energy is a very feminine type of energy, the energy of beauty. And then, okay, we've also got Pisces right here. Another sign that is very much in its receiving type of feminine energy. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, but I want you to know that this water sign is extremely sensitive. This water sign is someone who loves love, and I do see here that sweet energy is especially activated through Pisces placements towards you. So anyone who has a Pisces placement within their birth chart that is either sun, moon, rising, or stellium, they are especially attracted to you at this point in time, group number 3. And I want you to have fun with this, as already mentioned, because after all, now's a time in your life when you are extremely good looking. Okay, you are in a place where you've overcome insecurities that didn't let you be as confident in the past, and your confidence is what makes you incredibly beautiful. So we've got the Ace of Swords, but it did show up in reverse for you. Group number 3, I just want to show you upright. So this is the Ace of Swords. What will come to you next is a completely new idea of how you can further transform again. But this transformation is a little delayed. And I want you to know why this transformation is a little delayed. The reason for this is because you still need to save up for this transformation. So it could be that you want to get some sort of procedure done with a reputable doctor, so you're saving up for that. Also getting certain supplements, gym memberships, nice outfits to work out in, to transform yourself in that way. Maybe you want to get a coach or a mentor or some sort of further education that will help you become your highest self. These are all ways in which you're saving to invest in you. Also, one thing that I'm getting here is dental work as well. And the Oracle of Pentacles is indicative of the fact that you have created a type of environment in which whatever seeds that you plant for yourself, so you investing in you, it comes back tenfold, 50-fold, 100-fold. Like you buy a book on business and investing, and it literally makes you 100 or 1,000 times what it costs. If the book costs like $10 for you to purchase, it is not surprising that you're going to make 10,000 or 100,000 or even more off of just the wisdom and the lessons in that book. You get an online course, you get a mentor, you pay $100. It is not surprising that you will make tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even 7 figures from what you're learning, because you're the type of person where when you decide to learn something, group number 3, you take notes, you write it down, you take it seriously, you actually go ahead and practice it. And here within the 3 of Pentacles, what I do see is that you learn best when you can implement with other people who get it, who are on the same wavelength. I see that you learn really well in a group. So even if you're more of an introverted person, group number 3, I just want you to be aware of the fact that actually you do very well in a group because people look to you as being their leader. And people looking to you, we've got this beehive here, you make people want to work harder because when you work in your own little space and you're working alone, you work really hard. You work harder than the average person. Then when you're put in a group setting and people see how hard you work, they're like, oh my God, they get a little insecure. They're like, oh, this person always works this hard. Uh-oh, I really don't even work like 40% of what the person of group number 3 does in their work. And then it also just like sets the bar a lot higher whenever you enter any kind of group. So it is actually good and healthy for group settings for them to have you in there. So next up, we have emotions, honoring the flow of all the emotions. We've got alchemy, we've got processing, sensitivity, honoring everything that comes up for you, even if it makes you really emotional, is something that you're learning to do, and also to distance yourself when necessary when you get triggered by family. I see here in emotions in the Oracle of Pentacles, you know exactly how the game goes when your family members of origin trigger you. Like your mom says that thing in that tone of voice that always freaking makes you go off the rails. Your sibling tells you the stuff that you don't really want to hear in a manner that they know will annoy you. Your daddy issues being relived by insensitive comments and behaviors by your father or father figures in your life. So the thing here is like, you've been through the cycles so much that you are not going to allow that to trigger you anymore. You have progressed too far. When you know that someone is going to trigger you, you stabilize yourself. You ask yourself, did you drink enough? Did you eat enough? Are you really in a headspace where you think it's safe to be around them without you flying off the handle and then therefore giving them all of the power and control over you and your emotions? Or are you going to take a step back? Are you going to tell them, you know what, I'm not ready to have this conversation with you right now. I will let you know when I'm ready, and then you go ground yourself until you know, okay, now I'm ready to actually deal with this person without it becoming a problem, without me losing my cool and basically playing into their hand. I see that it just took time for you to gain the wisdom and also the confidence, because it does take a certain amount of confidence in a confrontational conversation to just say, you know what, I need to step away and I'm not going to engage in this right now because I don't have to. A lot of us, it takes time for us to realize here within, your energy is valuable, protect it well, that we have to protect our energy and we have to set boundaries, especially if you're naturally an empath, you're naturally someone who's very caring and giving. Maybe you had to by nature because you had to take care of family, children, pets, and responsibilities that really just one person shouldn't have to stem and carry. I want you to know here that what I see is that it is so incredibly important for you to realize you can say no. A lot of us, we learn way too late in life, or some of us never learn it. Just say no. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. That's literally a mind-boggling revelation that I got from my best friend when she said to me, Vanessa, you don't need to do anything you don't want to do. And she said it in German. She said, du musst gar nichts machen. Du musst nichts machen, was du nicht machen willst. And I love that because, yeah, it's obvious, but when you're in a situation where you feel forced to do something, like you feel forced to show up to an event you don't want to show up to, you feel forced to deal with like a frenemy or a family member that's super toxic, you feel like forced to go to that family gathering, you feel forced to respond to someone. It's like, you don't have to actually do anything. Nobody can literally force you. Like, unless they actually like threaten your life, they cannot force you to do anything. Nobody can force you to do anything. Even if they threaten your life, you can still decide, I'm just not going to do whatever you want me to do. Then threaten my life, you know? And knowing that you have a choice and an option is so incredibly powerful, group number 3. And I see that you are then starting to live that so much that people, it will start to become a running joke. Like, don't even ask group number 3 to do something that you know you shouldn't be asking group number 3 to do. Don't even try to put more stuff on group number 3's plate, because group number 3 will just flat out tell you, like, I'm not doing that. Like group number 3 is flexing the word no a little more than necessary. And it's not a bad thing, but you're just catching up on all of the years where you felt forced and compelled and like you had to say yes even though you wanted to say no. So you're flexing your no muscle a little more strongly in the next couple months of your life just to compensate, to balance things out. And who can blame you, group number 3? And I'm glad that you're finding your voice and that this newfound power looks so good on you. So we're going to delve a little more deeply into your reading. You don't have to do a thing or lift a finger. Just relax, group number 3, and we'll delve more deeply into your prediction. Hello, group number 3. Long time no see. It's me. I'm very excited for us to be doing this reading with a little bit of face-to-face sprinkled in, as well, as I find that it's just such a great way to connect, and also for us to delve more deeply into your prediction about what's coming next for you. So we're going to delve into it, and we're going to see precisely what your guides have to say. I can already feel there's something big going on. Perfect fit. Finding the right path, the fit with the soul, the ideal job, you're meant to be here. What's next for you, group number 3? The perfect fit, the perfect job, the perfect professional situation, the perfect business idea. Whether you are looking to start your own business, YouTube channel, blog, vlog, podcast, whatever it is you want to do, could be a Shopify store, could be your own online courses, been everywhere, done all of it. Let me tell you, when you've got a perfect fit for something, group number 3, it will just click, it will feel seamless, it will feel amazing. And your guides are trying to say to you, what's next in your life is indeed just that, a perfect fit coming your way. If you want to switch jobs, you're not happy in your job right now, apply. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And when you find that job, when you find that situation, you'll know from day one, this is the perfect fit. This is where I'm meant to be. And by the way, group number 3, my viewfinder is over here in case I look over, just so you know what's going on over here. It's my viewfinder to ensure that everything is within focus. So next we've got a perfect fit for you, which I'm so excited about, group number 3, because it's been a long time coming, and this is something you've been hoping and wishing for a while. You're finally being rewarded. And then we've also got exhausted. So feeling some sort of lack, feeling exhaustion, and what Spirit is trying to say to you, once you have your perfect fit, once you start and you have even just a little bit of stability, mentally, emotionally, financially, take a step back. I know we all always think like, well, burnout, it's not going to happen to me. I'm strong, I'm resilient, I'm always the strong one in the family, in the group, I'm the glue that keeps everything together. And group number 3, I get that, but at the same time, it's like nobody thinks it's going to be them until it actually becomes them. You know what I mean? And Spirit can see you're deeply exhausted on a soul level. It's like full body exhale, full body sigh. Even me just saying this right now, I can feel that it resonates in your body. You're like, And the thing with just being exhausted, it's like, you have pushed yourself for so long and so hard that you push yourself past the point of exhaustion because you just don't know any differently, and you're so used to always being exhausted. So you don't even know what it's like to feel rejuvenated, to feel re-energized. And that's what Spirit can see. For one, it shows you're a hard worker. And group number 3, that is a really beautiful aspirational part of your character and your personality. But the preservation of you, the preservation of your body, of your mental health, that is something we need to get checked out, group number 3. And it's a quote-unquote good problem to have, but it's also a very serious one. It shows that you have to place yourself on a bit more of a pedestal. We have upside down. See things from a different viewpoint. That's what upside down represents. If you were your own best friend, if you were your own niece, nephew, baby sister, your own mother or father, someone you love deeply, sibling, bestie, soulmate, would you want them to push themselves to the points that you push you, group number 3? Or would you tell them, I'm a little worried for you, and I think you should take a break. I think you should give yourself a little bit of rest. I think you should be a little less hard on yourself. See it from the perspective of treating yourself like someone you love dearly. But also, another great exercise you can do is to treat yourself like younger you. Literally go and look at a photo from you as a child, as a baby. Maybe you even have like a prominent photo that's hanging in your parents' house in your mind right now. Look at baby you and ask yourself, would you push this little baby, this inner child that actually is still somewhere within you? You're not a different person, you've just grown. You've just learned to articulate yourself differently, but you are still that. Would you push that person that hard? Would you allow them to exhaust themselves? Or would you make sure that they rest, that they recuperate, that they recharge, and that they learn that they're important too, and their rest matters too, and their mental health matters as well? You know, and the answer is clear, the answer is obvious, but sometimes you need from spirit a little nudge to make you see things from a different viewpoint so that you can take a step back and put yourself back together, really. So you can take a step back, get out of the hamster wheel, and see that, you know, that wheel will keep spinning even if you step out of it. So there's really no point in being in it and exhausting yourself to the bone. And another thing that I just want to say, maybe I shouldn't be saying this as a business owner, but I don't care because I value everyone who works for me. Everyone, oh, I have a card that popped out. We will read that, of course. I value everyone that works for me. I value everyone who I work with, and their mental health is important. And I just want to say a lot of businesses that work you to the bone, which is precisely the opposite of what I've always wanted. I wanted to, with Bow Life, with my brand, create a business where I can employ people and give them jobs that give them balance, work-life balance, where they feel like they're being rewarded for amazing work, but they can also spend time with their friends and family and be mentally sane. A lot of jobs, they don't care about that. If you were to fall terminally ill tomorrow, you were in hospital, you couldn't come back, or something terrible would happen to you, imagine how quickly they're going to replace you. And not one of these people replacing you is actually going to come to the hospital or to your funeral or whatever else the situation may be. Touch wood, wood table right here. You get the picture. So you need to take care of you first, because that job sure as hell won't do it. Your loved ones, yeah, they'll be there. They'll be there in that scenario, but they don't deserve to see you like that because you're working yourself to the bone to make someone else rich, you know? Next up, we've got celebrate. Today, celebrate the love you share with those who matter most. So turning this into a more love-focused direction. Your guides are trying to say to you today, shut off a little bit to celebrate the connections you've got with loved ones that are filled with authentic, beautiful love. Call up those friends you haven't spoken to in a long time. Tell your loved ones how deeply you love them. Take a moment to celebrate all of these connections because that's what really matters in life. That's where you make those memories for forever. That's where you write history and people remember you for who you are, how you made them feel, all of the ways in which you change the world. It's all about celebrating your connections and love. And Spirit is also telling me like a heart locket necklace. Wear it again. I'm also getting this old school Tiffany or Tiffany looking jewelry. You know, the silver one with those heart pendants, the infinity ones. Wear that jewelry again. Okay, we also have the 8 of Keys, courage, group number 3. Next, to unlock upcoming doors to success and places you want to go, you're going to have to be courageous. And for some of us, for you, group number 3, being courageous means taking a step back. And I know it can feel hard, especially if you are like a business owner or you have like these very important exams coming up. Or even if you work in a business, but you have so much weight that rests on your shoulders, you have so much responsibility, it takes so much courage to take a step away and just kind of focus on yourself for a moment. It takes so much courage to put yourself first. I know it's wild, isn't it, group number 3? But what I'm getting here is that by learning that, you can really think, and then you can make decisions that are smarter. So rather than just being in the hamster wheel, working hard, you can learn, okay, how can I, for example, employ someone else to do something that's keeping me insane and keeping me so busy that I'm constantly only exhausted, and I feel like I'm running after catching like an end or a tail that I will never catch, like this dangling carrot that you will never be able to reach? Or how can I take a step back and actually realize I'm working my tail off trying to study so hard to pass this exam and this test when I don't even know my learning style? I don't even know the best way for me to learn. Let me take a step back, because I'm spending perhaps 50% more time trying to read this stuff, trying to listen, to hear this stuff, trying to learn visually, or whatever way is not your way of learning. Meanwhile, if I just took a step back and really, really analyzed my situation and how I could do it more effectively, I would have so much more time in the long run. But it takes the pain of momentarily feeling unproductive, taking a step back and feeling irresponsible, but you're actually doing the most responsible thing for your health, for your well-being, and your success, which is taking a step back, really analyzing the situation, analyzing yourself, and seeing, how can I do this a bit better? How can I do this more effectively so I have more time? So I can spend more time taking care of me, meal prepping, going out for walks, meeting my friends, my family, getting a massage, doing what you love to do without being trapped in a cycle for longer and longer and longer than necessary. So this is really an encouragement for you to be courageous. Your guides are trying to say to you, nothing is going to burn up in flames just because you took a step back. The world is going to keep spinning, and you're just going to find better ways to do life, better ways to do business, better ways to create the desired future that you have within your heart, within your destiny. So never feel as though taking a step back and focusing on you and just having that distance to be able to think, to hear your own thoughts, never a bad thing, never something to feel guilty about. Group number 3, which is what Spirit wants to reiterate to you and wants you to plan and schedule in right now. Put it in your phone, put it in your schedule if you have like a physical calendar. I also have like a physical calendar in which I write things down. And make sure that you do that, group number 3, literally. Like, don't be afraid of this, all right? The most successful people have done this in order to get to the next level. It's going to work for you. Group number 3, this is the face-to-face portion of your reading that I've received for you. We'll go back into the overhead view. I appreciate you. I trust that this resonated, and we'll delve even more deeply into your reading together now. Welcome back, group number 3. Let's delve a little more deeply into your reading, shall we? We'll be using the Astro Dice just a little more to see what's going on with you, as well as our divination board that is made out of grounding wood. So, all right, we've got Aries that landed right in the middle. A very Aries-centric energy is what I'm getting here. If you're an Aries, then of course that makes sense. But Aries placements are now amplified, and Aries energy is pioneering energy. Don't feel as though, oh, I'm not an Aries, so this doesn't apply to me. No, group number 3. The zodiac is a holistic wheel with 12 different signs, because all of us have a little of each sign within us. Now, you may have a lot less Aries if you're like me, for example, and you're a Cancer sun, you're a Sag moon, and so on. But you still have Aries within your DNA. So I don't want you to feel as though, oh, because I don't have Aries in a prominent placement, this doesn't apply to me. It's just as when you, for example, identify as female, that doesn't mean that you don't have any masculine energy in you. That doesn't mean that you are denied of having access to masculine energy if that's the energy you want to channel. So what you're wanting to channel here next is Aries energy, which is exactly that example. It is masculine energy. It's the energy of doing. And something in your life is prompting you to want to channel this Aries energy. Something in your life is prompting you to want to have a little bit of a masculine edge. Let's see what we've got. We've got destiny. The reunion with your twin flame is a destined event. You want to be reunited with your twin flame. You are done either being with the wrong ones and trying to make them the right ones, or just being by yourself, period. Like, you've healed, you've learned, you know what you want, and now it's time for you to be with the person that you're actually destined to be with. I see that you're ready for love to be real, and also being with a partner who's kind of immature or who's not ready to be all in. I see that that is becoming such an ick for you. It's such a turnoff. Also feeling like you're dating a big man-child, man-baby, for example, or just like a big princess. It's a huge no for you, regardless of who you identify as. And I see, oh dear, group number 3, dealing with someone who has a gambling problem or a, how do we say this, explicit video watching problem without getting, taken down or penalized here on YouTube. Do not even touch someone like that with a 10-foot pole. And if you find out that the person you're dating or seeing has an issue with this, even, for example, excessively scrolling through Instagram, looking at like half naked images of women or men or whoever, those are all signs that this person has an issue with impulse control. This person maybe then also has the tendency to overspend. And of course, we can say to ourselves, well, we can't judge people, we need to give people a chance. Okay, but do you really want the father of your children to be someone that is just an additional child, that is just baggage, that is not a good role model, that isn't really there financially, physically, emotionally, because they have such issues when you could have just picked someone else? Like, do you have to pick the project, group number 3? Not to be super blunt and to give you like such a blunt example, but there are thousands of people, millions, billions of people who will tell you, if I had known better, I would have never made my kids go through having such a father, such a mother, such a parent. If I would have known better, I would have picked better. I wouldn't have done this to myself, because at the end of the day, you can't save anyone who has these issues. They need to see issue with it themselves, and they need to want to change it out of their own motivation. You cannot rescue this kind of person, nor can you save anyone who has this type of compulsion. And with Destiny and Aries, you have to be 100% like in the mood to cut people off who have these types of issues, and that's because you come fully packaged in mint condition, group number 3. Why do you think that you deserve a project when you yourself are not a project? That's because for a long time you saw things upside down. And if you've dealt with either a narcissistic parent or a narcissistic ex, they will have made you feel as though you're not good enough, you're the problem, you don't deserve better, etc., etc. That's upside down, group number 3, because it's not true. But when you're living in this upside down reality and your view is so skewed, just think about it. If you look at things, the same room, you look at the room once and you're standing upright, you look at the room again and you're like laying on the floor. It's such a different perspective, and all of a sudden the room looks really different, and the things that you notice in the room are completely different. Like when you're laying on the floor, you're noticing the ceiling differently, the legs of like the chairs or the couch if you're doing it in your living room, Everything looks so different, and you get to see things from an angle that you wouldn't otherwise see. And vice versa with standing up, right? You see the surface of things. You are most likely not seeing the feet or the underside of pieces of furniture and items. So it's all just is. Of course, it's not good for someone to make you feel like you're not enough or you don't deserve better, but it's just a different perspective, and we're not looking at you from that perspective anymore. You're not looking at you from that perspective anymore, group number 3. And what really heals you is to connect with nature, because nature doesn't judge. Go on walks, listen to podcasts. I do this all the time when I'm feeling really overwhelmed and overworked. I go for walks. I get 10K steps every single day, at least, if not far more. And the thing is, when you go out and you kind of like free yourself from feeling like you don't deserve better, like, oh, this is the best that you can do, you become incredibly powerful, and you also become dangerous, because no one can make you feel small anymore. No one can make you be their doormat or someone that they can just kind of lean on whenever they feel like without actually being consistent. So group number 3, you investing in your confidence is you investing in securing the future for you and also future generations that come after you, because I see here within the Empress, you are meant to have children in your life and guide them. All right, children are part of your future. Children who are part of your lineage, even if it's through nieces and nephews, also being children that you greatly impact. It doesn't always have to mean, oh, your children are only kids that you would have. No. Like, it has nothing to do with you birthing the children. It has everything to do with you guiding them, being there for them, showing them that they can, showing them that they don't have to go through the kind of trauma that you went through. They don't have to accept some of the ish that you accepted because you felt like you didn't deserve better. And I see here in the 8 of Wands that freeing people from confinement is what you're meant to do. If you're, for example, a nurse, you're freeing them from being in a health condition that binds them to the hospital. If you're a therapist, you are freeing people by allowing them to think in a way that causes less pain, strain, and agony. They become more free. If you, for example, are a cook, you are freeing people from going hungry and from being unsatisfied and not satiated with foods. If you are a coach, for example, you're freeing people from feeling super confined. If you're a tarot reader or an aspiring YouTuber, or you are a YouTuber just as I am, you're freeing people from feeling like they can't do the things that they want to do. You are freeing them from a reality, giving them kind of an escape that allows them to understand that their imagination is not just wishful thinking. Your imagination is where you create manifestations and you actually create your 3D reality from. Just think about it. Everything right now in your world, in your life, it is imagination at its root. Even this device that you're watching this reading on, someone had to imagine it before it was created. The piece of clothing you're wearing on your upper body, your lower body. I hope you're wearing something on your lower body, group number 3. All jokes aside, like someone had to imagine it. Someone had to come up with the fabric, the cut, the pattern, the color, and then had to create it from imagination without knowing whether it would work out. So remind yourself, if everything is created through imagination, so are your dreams, desires, your destiny, and your future. Your imagination is far more powerful than conventional society wants you to know. And here we've got master number 11, and it's on no. No, conventional society wants to make sure that imagination is, to a degree, it's a little bit ridiculed, isn't it? It's almost a little laughable when you talk about the power of imagination, because people in our society have made it as though imagination is this laughable, funny thing that doesn't exist and that's just in your head and it's made up and it's almost like a joke. And I truly do believe, and that's why I want to empower each and every one of you to become your own psychic CEO. I do truly believe that it is a tactic so people don't become their own psychic CEOs, and so people don't step up and end up living life on their terms and being who they want to be. Because when you make someone's most powerful tool, most potent tool, which is our imagination, when you make it a societal construct that is ridiculed, that is made to seem childish, like, oh, you have a wild imagination. When you make that the norm, you are actually making sure that people don't know their power and that they feel shy and embarrassed to say that actually their imagination is really powerful. And I see here within the Lovers, group 3, you are so in alignment with your imagination. You are also so in alignment with your future soulmate and spouse. If you can feel that it's your current person, hold on to them forever, because this is a very special connection that I see in your life. And you're so in harmony with someone who understands creation and who understands your imagination. And the Lovers also shows you never needed another person. You never needed validation. Yeah, you got it in the end. You're going to end up with your soulmate. It's destiny. It's destined. You're not meant to end up alone. However, group number 3, what I just want you to know here in the Lovers is that because you're just such a harmony-giving, loving and inducing type of person, life has no other choice but to just bow down to you and work to your imagination's command. And this is actually the law of assumption and manifestation. You assume to be something, you assume something, and it has no other choice but to become your reality. And I see here within the Queen of Cups that actually what this leads to is a very authentic and virtuous you. The Queen of Cups shows that you've always had a little bit of a mom or grandmother energy that you really love here within your bubble, because you think of your mom or grandmother in a way of being the matriarch and the one that had a very, very special presence that no male counterpart could even come close to. Oh, okay. We have more cards that need to be read. We've got the Tower as well as the Moon. You will intuitively know, group number 3, that there's something that is coming to an end. All right? There's something that you intuitively know is going to be destroyed. There will be disruption, conflict. The Tower card always means an ending, but the Moon tells me you intuitively already know what this is. You intuitively already know what we speak of. And here with Master number 11 that we received on no, it's not going to affect you. It's not great, but at the same time, it's like you wanted to rebuild that anyways. Like you wanted to try something new anyways. So there's nothing that is really holding power over you right now, group number 3, in the sense of you needing to worry about an important area of your life destructing. It's more about you understanding that what was built on a solid foundation and was meant for you is going to last and be there, and everything else is going to leave, but that just frees up room for what's meant for you. And coming back to this Queen of Cups energy, I do also just see here that getting more comfortable in your own body and in your own skin is something that you're doing, and it's home-based. A lot of at-home beauty treatments. Home is the harbor of the soul. It's the safest place you can be. Change your environment. Revamping your home and also making it more adjacent to a beauty routine. So getting a walking pad, a treadmill, some weights, yoga mat, setting that up in a place where you can feel healthy and beautiful because you are making sure your body remains fit, that you maintain muscle mass, and also flexibility, because that's all very important for when we get older, that we remain people who have a lot of mobility, that we can move. And with home-based, I am also seeing that like literally more things such as at-home face masks happening for you, making sure you've got those little LED devices like crystals to massage your skin with, gua sha, also like dry brushing, oiling your hair, oiling your scalp, oiling your skin, doing oil pulling, lip scrubs, doing your nails at home, like learning a lot of your home-based beauty procedures to be huge treats that you do throughout the week, where you don't have to spend as much time and money and energy to go out and get it done, but it's more a ritual you do for yourself. And it's not because you don't want to invest in yourself, but you would rather stay home and read a book or watch a show or take a course or revamp your space than go to get these things done somewhere outside, at least during this time of your life. Right now, you're just more invested in redecorating your home, refurbishing it, and also with home-based home ownership, buying your own home. It is closer than you expected it to be. You are manifesting everything. Remember, you're a magnet. And the more you tune into your psychic CEO energy of being in your power, being who you want to be, having this very firm energy and decision that you've made internally, that you have everything that you desire, that you are going to attain it sooner rather than later, because why the F not? Other people, let me put it this way, there are people on this planet, and I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad, but there are people who own tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, who own like more than entire countries. And you don't think you should be able to own a home that you love? You don't think you are worthy of just at least not being stressed out about paying your bills? Huh? group number 3? Of course you deserve all that. You deserve all that and so much more. So you're really working on your base and also on making a beautiful base that you can manifest even more in. And all of the mindset shifts that come with being home-based and understanding that, okay, you can make your home right now, even if it's a rental. Stop being in this rental mindset of, oh, it's a rental. I used to do that all the time. And it's like, so you're not going to live your life for God knows how long. It could even be forever. Some people rent forever because it just makes more sense. Even if they can afford to buy places, they would rather buy a place and make it an investment property and rent it out because they like their rental, or they get to change rentals every couple of years. So then you don't have to, for example, renovate. Like, rentals have a lot of pluses. I wouldn't even say in this day and age that home ownership always makes 100% sense. It doesn't. Like, if you want to be flexible and live in different countries and have an apartment and be able to upgrade it and have like the newest furnishings, designs, layouts, and just looks, you will not be able to do that if you own a place unless you want to invest a lot of money in updating it every few years, like every 5 to 10 years. But if you've got a rental, you also have a lot less risks. You're not paying a lot of insurances. There are tax breaks that you get, etc. And I just want you to know here that it is really important for you to be 100% comfortable in your home. Doesn't matter if it's a rental, doesn't matter if you own it. Like, you have to live it like you own the hell out of it, and like this is your castle. Okay, this is your casa, your castle, your refuge, your safe space. Make it beautiful. Make yourself excited to be at home. Honor it. Honor the fact that you spend so much of your life in it. Stop waiting to live fully in your home. Start living fully today. So group number 3, this is the reading that I've received for you, and I truly trust that you found it insightful. Leave a home emoji, like a house emoji, below in the comment section to let me and others know you were here and that you watched your reading all the way to the end. And if you're completely new to the channel and you love this space, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an upcoming prediction that's meant for you, because you will intuitively feel drawn to the videos and the readings that you're meant to receive. So group 3, wherever you are on this beautiful planet, know that I'm sending you so much love, and I cannot wait to catch up with you during one of our upcoming readings.